Travelling to newfangled locations can often be a daunting experience even for the most experienced traveller. But fear not, for I, who some have correctly mistaken to be the filmmaker Miles McAvoy, am here to share and document my travels with you. Today, we head by train to the beach of the Hook of Holland for the last few hours before boarding the ferry to head back home to Britain. Good morning. Today is the day I head back over the horizon back to Harwich. So the plan this morning is to get on the metro station that is right next to my hotel, and then that should take about 30-35 minutes to get all the way to the actual town of Hook of Holland, where I'm going to go on the beach, maybe get some fish and chips, and then get back on for about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock for the ferry home. That's my plan. That's what I'm thinking. Because there's not a lot more I think I want to see in Rotterdam, or have the time to really, because it takes a good 30-35 minutes to get all the way there on the metro. So that's my plan. We'll update you en route. Here I am at Hook van Holland Strand on the beach, and right out there is Harwich and Felixstowe, that exact direction. So basically, have a wander around. I need to have some food. I haven't had breakfast today. It's one of the few days I actually haven't had breakfast. And because it's a seaside town, much like in the UK, everything is shut. Lovely beach though. I found this little beach cabana. It's because it's a lovely beach. It's all, I reckon in the summer this is fantastic. And it's one of the few places open. I mean, I'm not exactly surprised. It is pretty horrible outside, and it is still spring. So it's not exactly warm. It's 25 to 12. And I've got to realistically be back at the port at 1:15. It gives me plenty of time. 1 to 1:15. Should be about half an hour walk back to the haven, and my plan is to go there through the dunes and have a look at the wall defences. And of course, even though I'm feeling a bit worse for wear, I can't say goodbye to the Netherlands without one last Heineken. I've now just dipped my hand in the North Sea, so I've officially been to both sides. That is pretty cool. So it is currently 12:15. My boat leaves in exactly 2 hours. It should be a half an hour walk back to the port. So fingers crossed I make it. If not, this video is going to take a slightly different turn. So in front of me is the metro station that I got off of when I arrived here. It is the end of the line, and the haven is one stop back towards Rotterdam. Now that would take about not even 5 minutes. So only future Miles knows whether this was the moment I should have gotten on that train and not done the walk. But sod it, I'm gonna do the walk. Fingers crossed I don't balls it up. Here I go, walking back. It is very empty here, I'm not surprised. It is not really beach season in the Netherlands or the UK, really, for that matter. The closer you get back to the UK in the Netherlands, I noticed this on the way out, it's the architecture and things just start to look a little bit more like the UK, or at least the UK East Coast. There's the train line that I came in from Rotterdam. It was only 30-35 minutes, so it wasn't too bad. And for a tube, that's pretty good. I've no idea how much it cost, so that could have absolutely crippled me. But in all honesty, there was no other way back to the port, even if I hadn't come here, because as I said, it is only one stop in that direction that I've opted to walk, because my feet aren't tired enough. Did 30,000 steps yesterday. God knows how many I'm going to do today. Less, hopefully. So you can see behind me what is designated Bunker 2 of the Hook of Holland's Atlantic Wall defences. These were defences built by Nazi Germany during the occupation of, well, Europe, in fact. These were built all the way from the Spanish border in France all the way up to Norway. They were an attempt to deter the Allied invasion force, which was unsuccessful as we landed in D-Day and managed to break through their defences. The Atlantic Wall was a grand project that ultimately was not given enough funding by the German High Command, and Erwin Rommel, who is in charge of the Atlantic Wall defences, or put in charge after the failed campaign in Africa, realised they were not good enough. He realised that those defences were not substantial to deter a massive Allied invasion force, and ultimately he was correct. Rommel's plan was to shore up those defences in the most vulnerable places and the most likely places they thought an Allied invasion would come. Now, due to Allied deception tactics, they thought the main bulk of our invasion force was going to come at the Port de Calais. However, as we all know, they landed in Normandy. It's all overgrown now, but this would have been a series of German bases, German bunkers to try and deter the invasion of the Hook of Holland and subsequently Rotterdam, which was a major port on the North Sea coast. But now, as you can see, it is all overgrown and nature ultimately triumphs over buildings of war. Atlantic Wall defences were put here. It is right across the channel over to Rotterdam, and coming from the UK, it is a perfect position to target enemy vessels trying to make a landing. And these defences were a series of bunkers that stretch all across this heathland. What an awesome bit of history. And here we are, back at the Hook of Holland haven, right next to the Port of Rotterdam. And this is it. This marks the end of the Netherlands excursion. It is now time to get back on the boat onto the Stena Britannica, heading back to Britain. I'll see you all soon. And there we go, through customs, and now about to get on board the Stena Britannica. What a trip it's been. Goodbye, Netherlands. I'll be back soon.